Hey, good morning, party people. Hope you had a nice long weekend. We're back with an episode of Honest Trailer Commentaries for the Disney Plus series Hawkeye. In this episode, we're going to talk about. Why did I turn into like, oh, hello for a second?
Did you remember at Disneyland they had that Columbia they call it, like the big ship that goes through the River of America? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I'm not one of those adult Disney psychos.
They've got the Mark Twain, the steamboat, and then they've got this big like pirate ship looking thing. And the guy on there, his first mate, the cast member, his first mate was named Hawkeye, and that's all I could think of. And he would say it in a really piratey, like, look at the day, Hawkeye. It's a great day.
Well, you're in for lots of behind the scenes insights like this. We will also play you some deleted scenes, tease you with next week's Honest Trailer, and answer questions and comments from viewers like yourselves. We begin with overall thoughts on Hawkeye, and for me, they can be summed up in a word/gesture. Okay, they did it. They did a Hawkeye thing.
They did it.
I like new Hawkeye. I like Haley Steinfeld. I like Florence Pugh. I'm not a big Jeremy Renner fan. They did a serviceable yeoman's job of handing off the bow. It doesn't feel particularly necessary. I think the action peaked in that car chase and never really regained it. The Larping stuff was weird. Kind of a waste of the Kingpin and Lalo from Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. It was okay. I don't know. I think WandaVision and Loki ruined me for Disney Plus series. And oh, these are all going to be awesome. So when it's like Falcon and Winter Soldier or this one, I'm like, oh, they're not. Bummer. Which doesn't mean they're bad. Just means that they're not really, really good for me. That's what I think. I open it up to the floor.
Lon, please.
Oh, I'll go. Yeah, I mean, I mostly agree. I feel like all of these Disney Plus shows, I keep saying this, they're doing the parabola where like they get good in the middle, and by like episode 3 or 4, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of coming around on this one. And then they kind of fumble at the beginning and the end. And like this one, it took me a while to get into, and then I did not think that last episode was like quite the payoff I was really looking for. I mean, I thought there's some obvious plot stuff that they reveal, and then you're like, yeah, I sort of figured. And then, yeah, they bring in Kingpin, which is this big exciting moment. But then it almost feels like a tease of like Kingpin's back and we'll put him in something else and actually use him. This is just like the teaser before the teaser. And it's like, I don't know, that kind of bummed me out. So like, yeah, there were things I really liked in it. I agree that third episode where we get Echo's backstory, and then we get that big fight with the tracksuits, and then that chase with the trick arrows. Definitely easily the highlight, and it feels like they kind of maybe had that one sequence in their pocket, and then the rest of the show kind of was like, okay, how do we build around that?
Okay, so I have always thought, and I really enjoy the Disney Plus series. They always feel like teasers for something bigger. Like all of them feel like, well, we're teasing the multiverse, or we're teasing the multiverse, or we're teasing like a replacement for this person, or we're teasing that terrible new Captain America suit. Like that's always what it's felt like. I did like this.
You don't have to frown. It's okay to like it.
No, I did. No. I liked it. But I'm trying to like it's because I did, and we say this, I like the Shane Black of it. I like, the idea of I'm just trying to get home to my kids for Christmas. Like I did, and I thought it was fun. I thought the LARPing bits were fun. But if you I think that we have to start thinking of these Disney Plus series, because I think that we're all thinking of them as like extensions of the MCU, and that they will also be as important or whatever as the MCU. And I think they are a part of it, but we also have to start thinking of them the same way we thought of the Netflix stuff. Like just it's cool and it's good and it will lead to something else, but we really can't hold this up to like Endgame. Like it's not fair. And also, honestly, for a Hawkeye series, considering that except for Kate Bishop, no one is like a Hawkeye fan, this is like good.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of people do that. And like, you can't grade it on a curve. Like, if you can't make a good
I grade everything on a curve.
Make something else. Like, that's not fair. Like, they chose to make the Hawkeye series. We can't get them like voted. Like, well, it's really hard to make a Hawkeye series. Like,
I think the Matt Fraction stuff that his run on Hawkeye is legendary, and they incorporate a lot of that here. And I think that it's, to me, and I'm sorry for singling him out, I think it's Renner that puts me off on this, because the scenes with Haley Steinfeld and Florence Pugh like working together / adversaries is like, oh, this is great. Why am I not watching this show?
I agree. I think Renner's a good actor. I think it's I mean, to me, I think the big decision here was to make, exactly like Danielle was just saying, like, to give Hawkeye this like regretful, like, he's tired, he's weary, he just wants to go home to the farm with the kids. He's really not into superheroing anymore. And that's kind of the vibe. And that works in terms of as a passing of the torch to Haley Steinfeld. And I think that Renner plays that really well. Like, I buy it as I totally bought this performance from him. I just feel like it's not fun. Like, if I am going to see a Hawkeye in the city fighting crime over Christmas show, I want Hawkeye to be kind of into it. And it really did kind of sap my enthusiasm that he was so weary and he was so ready to go home. And the fact that towards the end of this show, there are hints that both he and his wife will be ongoing presences in the MCU. We get like this tease, spoiler alert, folks. We get like a little tease that Laura Barton is former SHIELD.
I have a whole watch thing.
That was what I got.
No. I have a whole watch thing, but we'll talk about it.
Okay. Let's get into the trailer. We'll say more as it
my
plays
interpretation of that was both, because it's not only that there's this watch that is hers that has a SHIELD logo on it, but she seems to have a lot of specific knowledge about SHIELD operations and the New York underworld. Like, she gets that he's talking about Kingpin right away. She knows who the tracksuits are.
And she knows how to like look all this stuff up, and that is
she speaks German like right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like, she's fluent in
dope.
That's a cool thing. It's bad spycraft to wear the logo of your spy organization on your watch. I think that's kind of,
unless she was Hydra and that was like throwing people off.
Well, Hydra does love the little squid logos on everything, so it's in your all right. Let's watch
very into branding.
I was just gonna say, like, to me, that almost was kind of I liked that stuff, but it's almost a bummer because it's like, oh, we got to bring Hawkeye back again. He's so tired. Like, let the man rest. He just wants to farm.
Whatever it is they grow.
I don't know, whatever they're
He's gotten too old for this shaft.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I just like, like, Renner's good enough in the show that I did feel bad for him. Like, let the man sleep. He's tired. Haley's
let him
got
make
this.
his dad
She's
rock.
Fine. She's fine.
All right, roll the honest trailer. We'll stop and start as we go.
Still so good. I still really love that.
In a multiverse,
it'll be the only thing we use
possibilities. Even the lamest ideas must exist, which is why in a long enough timeline, Disney had to make something like, I don't know, a Hawkeye series. Hawkeye, the series. You've seen Clint Barton lose his mind to Loki's staff, lose his family to the blip, and lose his best friend to the ground. Now, get ready for a new adventure about the time he lost his hearing.
More cookie, please. Thank you.
Lost some very important dry cleaning.
Witnesses captured cell phone footage of a masked assailant fleeing the scene.
And lost all of his patience.
As far as I'm concerned, we're in this together.
Good find, Danielle. Didn't realize he drooped so much.
Can you believe the Avengers have never lost a fight when Hawkeye is with them? It's like the Hulk's lucky purple underwear.
You can't just put him on any shaft, you know?
Remember Hawkeye?
Nice. I was stunned by this fact that in the fights where Hawkeye is participating, the Avengers are 7-0. And I think they've lost almost every one where he's not on the squad.
And that's despite, I mean, I think one thing you could say for this series is we get to see more of like, here's what Hawkeye would be doing during one of these big scenes, because Kate Bishop just happens to see a little like solo Hawkeye alien fighting action. Like normally in those big team up scenes, we don't get a lot of just Hawkeye hero shots. Occasionally, he's not the most effective in battle.
And we didn't really, what was it, like episode 4 maybe, when we really got, except for that first scene where Kate Bishop was like, oh, I love Hawkeye now. We don't really get to see him doing a lot of Hawkeyeing until like episode 3 or 4.
Yeah,
there was surprisingly, I know there was a lot compared to, I don't know, White Lotus, but there was not a lot of archery in this show. There was not as much. I expected there to be a million arrow tracking shots, and there was obviously the trick arrow sequence, but yeah, he does a lot of like hand-to-hand martial and like tactical planning ahead of time. There was one thing that I didn't have a chance to write in, but noticed, is that for a tactical genius, undercover super spy / celebrity, so it's a lot of hats. He talks about like murder cases and secret identities and plans and stuff like that in several lifts.
Yes.
Oh my God, they're literally just. I have had friends who have been Lyft drivers. Yes, they hear everything we're saying.
they have ears.
Him and Kate are literally back in the back, like, well, so I think this person is, oh, well, Echo is like, blah, blah, blah. And like, they hear you. And I'm sorry, we've already established people know who Hawkeye is.
And they know who you are. Yeah, it's a celebrity. You think they're not going to listen if like, Jeremy Renner gets in your lift, you're not going to pay attention to what he's talking about.
They're discussing,
unless he's talking about his album. And then
where they're like walking down the street and there are people walking around them and they're talking about how they're going to like break into the building. They're walking around, like, if there's no attempt to be like covert or spy like at all.
And they just have arrows. I'm sorry, who was walking? I know New York is weird, but who was walking New York down is weird enough with just a quiver? And like
if somebody had a quiver in New York or Portland, frankly, like nobody would. Like,
if I
that's like LA, a unicycle in Portland.
If I was walking like around like 3rd and Fairfax and there was a dude with a bow and arrow, I'd be like, dude with a bow, I guess they're shooting something around here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like someone with a parrot.
If there's if there's a Supreme logo on the quiver, I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, like in Big City, like all sorts of people do have dumb affectations. You're just like, he's the arrow guy. He's the
arrow guy.
Also, can I please say, for everyone who says that the Honest trailers have gotten more PC since I joined on, I wrote the Shaft joke. Stop saying
Have they gotten more? I feel like they've got, well, whatever. We say boobs less, but that's about it.
They've gotten hornier since I've been on.
Yeah.
Everyone is
woke scolds got to us, folks. That's it.
Well, I'm the woke scold, apparently, even though I write the most junk
I
jokes.
feel like we get it from all sides, which means we're doing, if everybody's angry, we must be right.
Killing it.
The old Kristen Cinema defense.
Except for Taco. Taco loves us.
Taco's a big fan.
Universal fan of Taco, yeah. All right, let's keep watching.
Hawkeye, he's old now, and the most over-it Avenger has literally heard enough of your shit.
Is that the whole time?
I could do this all.
Did you turn your hearing aid off?
And now that Jeremy Renner would rather be rockin' than knockin', he's passing the bow to Kate Bishop. She's a milestone of representation as the MCU's first hero who thinks Hawkeye is cool.
We need to have like a movie fight or a music fight, I guess, with which Avenger has the best / worst musical side project. Because I think almost all of them do. Downey's got an album.
I'm sorry, it's Scarlett Johansson.
Sorry. Are you saying best or worst?
Worst.
Okay, interesting. But I think
Have you heard that one?
No.
She does that like that really
the breathy thing, right?
Yeah, breathy.
No.
Right?
She has a cover album of what? I'm sorry, I have to look this up. She has a cover album that is just
but she does that like jazzy kind of singing where it's like, like it's very affected and she's doing something weird with her voice, right? I think so.
Yes, but the cover album is really really important.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hang on. There's gotta be. They can't all have side projects. Like Paul Bettany.
Robert Downey Jr.'s for sure.
He does a Tom Waits cover album. Come on.
Wow. I've always looked at her and thought Tom Waits. So that makes sense. Well, okay. So Downey's definitely got a record. Thor doesn't
I know
sing.
Downey does.
Ruffalo? I feel like Ruffalo was probably in like a band in the 90s.
Well enough, obviously Oscar Isaac, new to the MCU,
ska band, right?
Ska band member. So yeah, there we go.
Picking it up.
Picking that up. Hemsworth. I have a hard time seeing Hemsworth in a band either. I don't think that's right. What about Evans? Do we know if Chris Evans has a musical?
I think he knows better.
Yeah, they caught him pretty
too busy
early.
Producing shows for the CIA. He doesn't have time. He did. That's true. Look that up.
I know.
All right. Well, we'll circle back on that. We need to do a little more research.
I'm gonna tell you. Sorry, that's the only thing I know about the Renner song.
I mean, but Renner, it's not just music. It's not just archery. A Renaissance man. I mean, also an entrepreneur.
Oh God, why didn't we call him a Renaissance man?
Oh,
darn it.
That's on me.
This is what happens when we're not all in a room together.
I know.
That would have come. That would have come out if we were all in a room.
Yeah.
Where my Dog Star fans at? That's what I want to know. Yeah.
Tom Waits cover album. Sorry, it's just very important.
Yeah, that in a weird way, that's like, yeah, that's about right.
Okay,
like,
keep going.
Like in an inexplicable way I can't describe. That sounds right.
Cool.
Can you sign this?
You're kind of my favorite Avenger.
This heir to the name is a clueless rich girl who's really into archery and branding.
Your problem is branding. It's a very hard brand to sell. I've been thinking about your branding issue. You need a more recognizable costume. It's the branding issue, I'm telling you.
But don't worry, kinda sucking is one of Hawkeye's main qualifications. Kate should easily slide into the role going forward.
I was a big fan of all the sliding.
Yeah, pause.
Wax her.
I mean, I think they did a good job. I guess exploring the physicality of how Haley Steinfeld could beat up several grown mobsters at once, and it's to go low. It's to go low, and then sometimes she goes high and uses leverage, but usually it's like the spamming the sweep in Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Also, I will say, they did a really good job of showing that she, and later, obviously, there was an actual Black Widow. They did a really good job of showing that she gave herself the non-abusive Black Widow, where she was like, oh, I'm just going to like train in everything. I'm going to like Cobra Kai. I'm going to train in fencing. I'm going to do all of these things. So they did establish that. Also, we didn't get to this, but I have to say this. How does Kate fit into every outfit in the world? She fits into the Ronin suit. She fits into her aunt's clothes. Is everyone in New York a 5'8" woman?
The Ronin suit has like the Ghostface costume from Scream Rules, where it's like anybody can put it on, and it's a perfect fit. Like somehow, like Laurie Metcalf puts on the Ghostface suit and is like 6'5", like as imposing as Matthew Lillard. Like, wait, how did this? So yeah, the Ronin suit is like.
Well, I am just googling it.
Well, like it's tailored.
Hello, Jeremy Renner, a Hollywood 5'9", Haley Steinfeld 5'8". There you go.
Yeah. Perfect.
Oh,
identical body types.
Well, what is the black dude? Oh gosh, I shouldn't. Okay.
What is
the black dude?
His name is Grills.
Dude. I know he has a name.
Grill.
I could call him just
Grills.
the black dude.
Yeah, Grills.
But it is Grills.
Yeah. Why is he
someone get back to me with Grills height. Google. Okay, let's keep watching.
Does she wax her pants? That definitely sounds like something rich girls would do. You do know she went to the same high school as Gwyneth Paltrow, right? Watch Clint and Kate work together to find who killed her father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. Oh, sorry, I mean her mother's fiance's estranged uncle who loves drama. And helping them crack this super important case are the Avengers. Just kidding. They would never. Helping them are C-teamers like sober Jack Sparrow. Kate's wealthy parents who you just know are criminals. Call it the Arrow Principle. Some LARPers the heroes look down on, which is rich considering Hawkeye LARPs as an Avenger. Lucky the pizza dog, who's cute, but let's face it, he's no airbud. You gonna eat that
I want to just go back to like Lalo, what was his real name? Jack, and the mom and stuff like that, because I know it's like heart bids a dead horse at this point, but like it's a real villain problem when they didn't want to commit to the mom being like really bad so that turn would have a lot of impact. Like that final scene where she's putting her mother in prison should be like gut wrenching, but it seemed like, sorry, Ma, you did it. You got to go. And she's like, really? Yeah, bye. And then to also have Jack be like the red herring when we know he can play like one of the most menacing, terrifying presences on screen, but also be charismatic and stuff like that. Just seems like a waste of good villains. And then the Kingpin just gets, yeeted out of the series.
I almost wonder if her mom was supposed to be Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Oh, interesting.
Like I had a moment where I was like,
it's confusing because in the movie Black Widow, it is Julia Louis-Dreyfus who hires Florence Pugh. That's who sends her after Hawkeye. But then in this show, we're told that actually, no, it was Vera Farmiga who hired her to take out Hawkeye. So they do have contrasting explanations for why Florence Pugh actually came to New York to kill Hawkeye. So that does kind of, I feel like it should have been like, I just feel like they delayed that too much. Like, you don't leave that for the last episode. Like episode 3, bring them in with Hawkeye and Kate. And then, it just felt like all that stuff, they saved the plot of this show for the final episode. And I don't know why you don't get Kingpin in the mix earlier. I don't know why you don't make this the show instead of just the final episode, and then everything has to be super rushed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do feel like a lot of this was foreshadowed because obviously Jack was not going to be the bad guy because he's too red herring. So he wasn't going to be. So not to be that person, I did call that it was going to be the mom at like episode 3.
Right.
Episode 4.
Everybody. Well,
everyone did.
It's the casting problem. I brought up Laurie Metcalf from Scream 2. It's the same thing. When Laurie Metcalf shows up in Scream 2, you're like, well, she's the killer, because why else would Emmy winner, Roseanne star Laurie Metcalf be in this movie? And it's the same thing. When Vera Farmiga shows up and she's playing the mom, you're like, well, there's more to this mom, because why else would you get like the Departed star Vera Farmiga?
I wonder if Haley Steinfeld the role was like written for a younger actress or something. It struck me as funny that Jack would be like trying really hard to connect with his 22-year-old stepdaughter and be like, I'm your dad now. It's like, you're 22. You don't need a dad in that way.
It's been a while since I've read the comics, so I'm probably wrong and someone will correct me. But my understanding is that usually that character is like 16.
Right. That makes
sense.
In
the comics?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe Kate Bishop is younger, like the comic book version.
Yeah, like 15, 16, 14, like something around that, and I do understand why they would be like, hey, maybe let's not just have this 14-year-old hanging out with this like old dude.
It's just a testament to how likable Haley Steinfeld is, because she by the numbers sucks. She's
annoying as crap, and everyone calls her annoying, but every time they do, you're like, oh, but I like her.
Like, she works for her mom, like she gets every break in the world because her parents run her mom runs like a shady security service that she works for but asks no questions about.
And she lives in like, I don't know, a firehouse. Like, I don't know what that is.
She lives in a movie set.
Yeah, she lives in like the Ghostbusters firehouse that they're not using anymore.
But yeah, we love her. We can't help but love her. All right, keep going.
Yeah, she's very caring.
But let's face it, he's no airbud. You're gonna eat that pizza all day, you're gonna start hitting some three-pointers. Yelena, who keeps up her streak of making the audience wonder, why isn't this about Yelena instead? And Linda Cardellini as the chillest wife on the planet, who will assume is cool with Clint spending Christmas Eve drinking with a hot, rich 22-year-old who idolizes him and looks like a young version of her. Dude, she's ex-SHIELD. She's gonna find those texts, and they, do not look good. Prepare for the most.
What was your point about the watch, Danielle?
I don't. So the tracksuits blow up. First of all, I don't know why rich people keep having galas. Like, you have to learn to not have galas. Every gala ends badly.
When those billionaires all go underground for their secret billionaire meeting, like, the fact that it's just an auction is like, oh my God, it's just an auction. Why did you even do this underground? Like, when billionaires go underground, that's a real big red flag.
I'm really assuming it's like some eyes wide shut.
Very dark is happening.
Oh yeah, for an auction, it's definitely like taken. They're not bidding on them.
Like, dinosaur bones? Oh,
great! Oh, great! It's not Squid Games. Okay, cool.
This is great. Oh, I've assumed it was like a money plane situation at best.
You ever want to see a guy Ronin? Anyway, but yeah, no. So I again, too many galas. Everyone knows you shouldn't have a gala, but they say multiple times the tracksuits, who by the way I kind of really love, they go in because they want this watch, and the watch feels like it's significant, and then it's just like your Linda Cardellini's watch. Like, I don't understand.
It's like a way to trace
means.
back that she was SHIELD. I know why it's important for Hawkeye, but why for anybody else?
Right. For anyone else.
I was very confused about what they were breaking in there to steal, because I just assumed for most of the show that it was the Ronin stuff, not the watch. But that you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying the show. This is so tossed off that the first time I watched the show, I didn't even follow that part. Like, I thought they were there for the sword and the Ronin suit. And then it was like, oh, there's this watch too. And then you go back and you're like, oh no, the watch was like the whole thing all along.
So I thought that it was one of the watches they used when they did the whole Parker Lewis Can't Lose thing, where they like synchronized swatches.
Oh no, it's not one of
they went back in Endgame.
Is it?
I thought it was. That's what I thought. I thought it was. I was like, oh, it's a time heist watch.
Why do they care so much?
Those aren't Rolexes. This is like a retirement watch. Those are like high-tech Stark looking watch.
Yes. So that was what I thought the watch was. And then when they showed the watch, I was like, no, that's just like a watch.
It's just like a watch. It was like her retirement gift or something, I'm assuming. But then you would think, well, this is a dumb gift because if it's traceable back to you and it proves you were in S.H.I.E.L.D. after you retired to your farm, like, bad gift, keep it. I don't want, just give me an Xbox. Like, why do I want to be traced back? And like, it's like, oh, they just like cavalierly left stuff at Avengers HQ.
Like give me to
begin with.
Give me a Mother's Day tie. Like, why are you giving?
Why was he hanging on to the Ronin suit at all? Burn that thing right away, man.
Instantly. Well, you never knew when you might want
homicides.
It's like keeping like your varsity jacket. You know, it's better times.
At the Avengers HQ? Were they going to put it in like a Smithsonian style exhibit? Like when Hawkeye went crazy, this was the thing he wore to kill all this.
Well, no, it's like that basement.
And we'll head down here. This is the Hulkbuster armor.
It's like that basement that Batman has, where it's like, why do you have that suit of?
It's going to be a T-Rex skeleton and a huge coin and the Ronin suit. Yeah.
All right, let's keep going.
Here for the most suit-obsessed TV show since Suits.
Told nobody about this suit.
Wait, what about the suit?
I told you that suit was bad news. I'll give you the suit.
Did you get the suit?
Suit.
Where Clint must atone for the time he butchered half the criminal underworld, and also his haircut. Hunting him down is Echo, a mob lieutenant whose hearing loss gives her a superhuman tolerance for the word bro.
Wakey, bro.
Let's go, bro! It worked, bro. We got you now, bro. Why are you making it so tough on us, bro?
And in a reveal they teased for 5 weeks straight, Vincent D'Onofrio returns as the Kingpin, who appears to have spent his time off camera becoming a Hawaiian pimp. He'll step out of the multiverse, only to get worked by just about every main character in the MCU's answer to Darth Maul getting sliced in round 1 of the lightsaber playoffs. I'm not saying the return of the Netflix characters has been a dud so far, but Danny Rand just changed his Facebook invite from going to maybe.
So pause. We're gonna sneak in a fan question here from Alessio Pasquale. Says, what do you guys think? We still agree Kingpin will return blinded in Echo, which by the way is the next another Disney Plus franchise we're getting. Or no, I personally think he will because the dialogue of not always seeing eye to eye foreshadows that. I didn't pick up on that. Is there a blind Kingpin in the comics or anything that would be referencing? Or if you ever get shot off camera, it means you're not dead, right?
No face, no case. Just like
definitely
just like when you send nudes, no face, no case.
Definitely not dead.
He's not dead.
I think Claw gets shot off camera, but then maybe you see the body.
I think you see the body on that one. But also, I do think that he's. With that actor and that character, you do keep it as open as you can.
Claw, you actually see he like throws the body on the ground because it's like his tribute to the people of Wakanda.
Right.
So he actually does.
But they can rebuild him. Anyways, Kingpin.
Make him better, stronger, faster.
Kingpin will come back.
He'll be back. I hadn't heard the blinded thing, but it does, like, you definitely feel like he's going to be changed and messed up by this experience. And so blinded would be a good one. Like that's I could totally see that. That's a good guess.
Yeah. Also, and we didn't put this in here, but God love an MCU daddy issues show. Just all of this is about dads.
The whole thing's about dads.
Literally everything. This whole thing is about dads. So good for them. They got their. Do y'all need help? Does someone need to see someone? Feige, get seriously counseling.
Yeah, we need another snap, but it just brings back everyone's dad.
Just like Dr. Feige loves DC, and Kevin could never please him.
All right, let's keep playing.
And for this family-friendly Shane Black riff, where the weapons aren't lethal, the guys aren't nice, and in true Marvel fashion, there's no kiss or bang, but it still gives us some passable action.
Hang on.
Decent quips.
Hey, look, that one's you.
No, it's Katniss Everdeen.
And a fun new hero.
Oh, wow. Didn't realize we were supposed to bring guns.
Even though you could have had twice the fun by reading the comics it's based on, or reading about the Jeremy Renner app, or reading about the other Marvel musical we wish we could see.
Now in previews at the Foxwoods Theater, the event that will redefine the Broadway spectacular.
I'm gonna tell my kids that this was No Way Home.
Can we pause?
Starring.
I'm sorry. This is so important. So that you can find, I forget which late night show it was, but they did recreate one of the
Yes,
musicals.
Letterman. I actually told Kevin that was in one of my notes, is to replace the footage with the late night appearance, but they didn't.
It's the Freak Like Me song, right?
Freak Like Me.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh, it's so bad.
It's a
I love
classic,
it so much. It's so good.
I'm reading a Song of the Spider-Man. I think that's what it's called, which is a tell-all book about the production of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. I'm gonna have to do
Oh my God, can you send that to
book
me?
report after.
Yeah,
I'm done.
wow.
It is the hottest of messes. My God, what a...
Well, and obviously, like, you understand Broadway more than even like me, musical theater nerd. You understand Broadway more than any of us, which is a thing that no one knows.
Well, yeah, by relation, I have a lot of questions that can be answered. So I'm going to come back with a full Spider-Man.
I don't know the backstory. Are you related to like Gilbert and Sullivan? Is that what it's called?
My wife was a Broadway performer. So she's got all the dirt.
Right.
Yeah. All the real stories.
It's a thing I nerd out about that I don't talk about. The fact that his wife was come on.
You guys should dish. But yes.
Kristen Chenoweth. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm married to Adele Dazeem.
The incomparable.
Yeah, but yes, I'll give you the full report. I've only started it like a week ago, so it's already off to a hot start.
So good.
All right, let's keep watching this on Australia.
Starring Sterling Archer, assistant to the regional Hawkeye. It was a one-eyed street-raised golden puppy pizza eater.
Mom, you have failed this city.
Captain Stabbin. Florence the Pew, Russian little sister loves macaroni. Silent but deadly. Kazi the Clown, a Twitch influencer. Still a cop.
I thought you loved all animals, Mr. Ventura.
Yeah, pause. With the LARPing thing, I love how they like bend over backwards to make this group of off-duty police officers doing their murder fantasies like the most diverse, likable, down-to-earth, like just your pals from around the corner group of guys and gals that you ever seen. And it's like, okay, I see what you're doing there, Marvel.
they're off duty, they're just hanging out at the park. It's a little different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have a hobby that doesn't mean you shoot black people, then yes, make it LARPing. Oh, the comments are gonna love me.
Oh boy, yeah, it's getting hot.
Hey, look, it was MLK Day yesterday. I get to use that.
We're all still fired up from MLK Day.
It counts for the whole week, folks. It stands really for the whole week.
All right, let's keep going.
And what a week straight of getting beat in the face looks like. Are we sure they don't have healing powers?
The tiniest
with
the
homies.
Nice graphics.
World's greatest archers. Can you even salmon ladder, bro? Queen takes bishop. Checkmate.
There you go. Awesome. Well, that was Hawkeye. May he sling arrows in Valhalla. What do you think he grows on that farm?
Yeah, I have no idea. It looks barren. Look, when you see it does not look like there are any crops. Also, in Eternals, we just saw a Jack's farm also grows apparently nothing. They've got all this land and it's just sitting barren.
Maybe they're like, ranchers, but like the cattle are off. Someone else is tending to the cattle at the time we see it.
Somewhere else.
You don't call that a farm.
No,
that's not. They probably have like chickens. Like people like, oh, we have like 2 chickens. And it's like, okay, but it's like farming.
Yeah. It's just a farm. They farm grief.
Yeah, there's no idea what they're growing at Barton Farms.
No, they're not growing anything. I recently stayed at a barn that grew nothing except influencers. So like,
yeah, they just rent it out for weddings at this point.
It's an event space, Barton Farms.
All right, let's see the deleted scenes.
Some LARPers the heroes look down on, which is rich for a girl who loves archery and lockpicking. Her whole persona is one loot short of a Ren fair. Some cops who spend their free time enacting elaborate fantasies of murdering people. Huh. Lucky the pizza dog, which is cheating. You can't just combine words everyone loves and call it a character. You may as well have Money the orgasm biscuit. Starring
Coming soon.
Yul Renner, Reindeer Games, Hawkman Dad, Ren Fair. Keep ronin', 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 ronin'. They see me ronin', they hate
A lot of
me.
Ronin jokes.
Yabish, Mary Kate. An archery contest? The Arch of 22. Airbud, Old Yeller, Fisk Management, The Momdering, My Soviet Called Life, Ballistic, Echo versus Avenger, How Much You Hench, Netflix and Kill, Thick Ass Thief, Enter the Fisk. While you were avenging, I studied the blade. Hello, my name is Lalo from Better Call Saul. You killed my uncle. Prepare to die. Ronin Holiday. How Kate Bish Stole Christmas. Ronin Hood, Prince of Dweebs. Hawk Stalk and the Bottom of the Barrel.
Very clever.
Why doesn't Clint just hand the name off to his eldest son?
And we're gonna fill it with a lot of Christmas activities. What's your favorite one?
Ugly sweaters.
Oh.
His favorite activity is ugly sweaters.
When I said no one gives a hoot about Hawkeye, that is not what I meant, and you know it.
There you go. Clever little Hooters joke. Yes.
I do kind of love that Disney has so much money. They were like, I'm just going to destroy the 30 Rock tree.
I feel like most of this was shot at or around 30 Rock.
Yeah.
I think they're like, we got 30 Rock. We got to make sure we use it.
There's so much of it is at 30 Rock that you do kind of expect Liz Lemon and Jack Donaghy to like come around and comment.
Oh, that'd be
on
the best. The best multiverse inclusion would be.
I did kind of wait. I was kind of waiting for that. I would just note, by the way, that is the third time I have pitched a starring joke that is a parody of Ballistic X versus Sever.
Oh, I know.
We've never used one. They've all been in the alt pile, but one time it's going to get through. One time it's going to happen.
Look, this is your version of my Antweens. Where it's like,
we put in Antweens in a bunch at this
did
point.
we?
Yeah,
I think so.
I feel like it's been pitched more than it's been used.
So far, no Ballistic X versus Sever love.
I think we just need to do the Australia for Ballistics X versus Sever on the 20th anniversary of Ballistics.
Yeah,
which is this year, by the way.
Can we please do the games? There's like 2 games.
Oh, I'm so excited. That's gonna be
September of 2022.
That's definitely one. That's one for just
going in the lawn pile.
Not even us.
100%.
Yeah.
Which one's X and which one is separate? Wait, I don't tell me. Don't spoil it.
Yeah,
I want to wait.
You want to wait for the movie. Experience it.
All right. Let's see. We do some comments, questions now. Let's see. Raynard City Update Channel. What are your thoughts on hot sauce with mac and cheese? Delicious. Next question.
Amazing.
Very good.
Yeah.
I like Tapatio the best. That's the one.
Oh, see, I do. I agree with you, Elena. You got to get in that sriracha. It's got that garlicky tang.
I like the sriracha, but I think the mac and cheese one, it could just be like, because that's what was in like the college cafeteria that I would put on my
Tapatio's. Yeah, that's
bad UCLA
it's
mac
more
and cheese,
vinegary. It's the vinegar, I think.
That's my choice. That's the one I keep around.
I'm hungry. All right, let's only do a few more. I'm gonna get lunch. James Bond asks, bro, which Eternal should get a Netflix series?
Oh wow!
A
Netflix series. I like that they're poaching them for Netflix.
I have literally watched that movie 4 times now, and I don't know any of their names.
Oh, I know every.
Come on.
I can name every Eternal.
No, you don't.
Druid.
Flashcard me.
Ajax.
Icarus.
Faustus.
That one I know.
Circe, Sprite, Gilgamesh, Ina. Come on.
Oh, I want
Makari.
The Adventures of Sprite in the City.
Sprite in the City.
Sprite in the City is a good
Sprite.
one.
That would be Sprite. Sex in the City starring Sprite would be very uncomfortable, but seems to be where the movie itself wants to take things.
Why is she?
Poor Sprite can't get laid.
We will do it out
she's
of
a child in a child's body.
But the conclusion that she's going to go to school now makes first of all, inappropriate for her to be around these thousands of years old. But also, what is she going to learn in 7th grade? She's been alive since like the dawn of man. Makes no sense at all.
She has the power to age herself up. Just like do that
Just
all the time.
She doesn't do long division yet. Like what is she going back to school to learn?
Long person. Make yourself.
I don't like it. I will say that I think the best series would be Kingo. And it's like one of those, like it's like a behind the scenes Bollywood satire. Like you're half spending time with his Bollywood career, making films, being a celebrity, but then every once in a while he's got to step away to like kill a deviant or like stop the world from being an egg.
Yeah.
You know. Like
I'm gonna go with
the hand with the lights.
I think Arishem, but he's doing like a Arishem Reacts series.
First of all, a celestial, not an eternal. You're blatantly violating the spirit of the question.
They're part celestial. It counts. And you're just
I
showing him
watched
different
the
things.
trailer for Pig.
Yeah.
You cannot interfere with the pig, but I am.
Do not
very
interfere
happy.
with Pig.
Yeah.
Do not interfere with Moon Knight.
These jokers are not very practical. I'm ready to judge them.
Do not interfere with the practical jokers.
Sorry, Joe.
They must reproduce to create the Earth egg I'm trying to hatch.
The power of their humor will birth a celestial.
All right. One more question. Let's see. Endigo 2064 IFY Iffy says, if Laurie Metcalf showed up in the MCU, what villain is she secretly playing? Well, she should have been the mom. She definitely should have been Florence Pugh's mom, I think.
Yes,
that would have been
that would have been a very, very fitting bit of casting. Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, there is. Oh gosh,
I don't know enough.
Here I am. I can't remember her name, but there is a mom in the X-Men who like takes people and regresses them and then makes them like her people, and that's why Storm became Small, and then Storm became friends with Gambit. And I should smack myself in the head and give myself a swirly. I'm so sorry. Why is there not a locker that I can put myself in? But that is what I. Oh, also, gosh, they won't do this either. There was a Romany mom that raised Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Really, seriously, give me a swirly.
No, God, this
push
is the
my
place.
head.
There's
Push
no
my head.
swirlies here.
Yeah, no, that's I wish I knew half of this knowledge. I was just gonna say, like, I know Tatiana Maslany's gonna be She-Hulk, but I think just Laurie Metcalf with She-Hulk powers would also be pretty fun.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Where Laurie Metcalf is just
like
gonna Hulk out at you, go
like
nuts.
a Loki variant, but she's just basically doing her Ladybird character, but as a Loki.
But she's got the crown on.
Yeah. All right, this was fun. We'll be talking more about Marvel next week on our next episode of Honest Trailer Commentaries. I think you'll guess what it is.
Yeah, we kind of got ahead of ourselves on this one.
Not slick.
Oh man, Druid sucks. We'll see you next week. Bye.